Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenating, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medase.
Hey, Charlie. You're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy. You stressed out. Tired? Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy. JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hey, Charlie. You're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy. You stressed out. Tired? Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hey, Charlie. You're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy. You stressed out. Tired? Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and intact? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination intact. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prum Prum Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
While the others keep on talking, we keep on rocking. Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
all around the world. In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your
This is
smartphone.
Starr Radio UK.
are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you are listening to Starr Radio UK and the Morning Show.
This is Starr Radio. This is
UK.
Starr Radio
UK.
This is Starr Radio
UK.
Welcome.
Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio. Starr Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth and those of you on other planets as well. We want to salute each and every one of you and welcome you to the Starr Radio UK Monday edition of the morning show. Today is the 17th day of June, the year 2024, and it's Monday, of course. So all the Monday bonds, let me say massive good morning to you. And if you are celebrating a special day today, if today happens to be your birthday, happy birthday to you wherever you might be. Yes. This is Starr Radio UK, and I am your one and only.
This is the morning show with Archie.
Okay, so you can do me a massive favor. Just share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. And let me say a special good morning to my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy, who is doing everything possible to make sure that everything takes along nicely here in the studios. Yes, without him, I cannot do much. Yes, so he does it perfectly as well. Mr. Francis Guy, good morning to you. Let me say good morning to Mr. Olami Koiki. Yummy, I hope you are doing good, sir. And the celebrations went well. Yeah. So good morning to you there as well. And let me say also good morning to Felix. Good morning to you, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, and all the men. Those that I wasn't able, I didn't have the opportunity to wish you all a happy Father's Day. I salute every man doing his bit, or his bit for the world. Yes, not just procreation, but taking care of being responsible. Right? Good. I think the women will like me for saying that. But wherever you are this morning, once again, thank you very much for joining us on this edition of the morning show. This is Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let me say good morning to Anthony Adedeji Aziz. Massive good morning to you. Olakunle, good morning. Shamsuddin, good morning to you as well. And as many of you who have tuned in this morning to listen to us, I salute each and every one of you. To my younger brothers, Eben, good morning to you all the way in Cape Town, South Africa. To Alfred, good morning, and to Herbert, good morning to you. Somebody say you are becoming old. Of course, I am becoming old. Good morning to you, Herbert. And then to my son, yes, Emmanuel Rock, yes, Roxanne, I'm on that. Good morning to you as well, Andrew. Good morning, all my girls. Yes, Veronica, Karen, and all the others. Yes. I salute each and every one of you for all that lovely time that we did have yesterday. It is good to have you all in the house as well. God richly bless you. But wherever you are, share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. Invite them to like our pages as well. So by way of program outline, as you know, for the Monday edition of the morning show, I'm in trouble, you know. Let me say good morning to my one and only HRH Linda Pallien, all the way in Cyprus. Yeah, who will also be joining us during the course of the program as well. Massive good morning to you, and to Yah Santua and Mr. Pallien as well. I salute each and every one of you. I hope you are all doing good. So I'm going to bring you the quote for the day, the weather forecast follows you, then the travel update. We'll move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe. That is known as global trotting. Then after that, we'll move on to look at the details of the stories making the rounds. Discussions goes on until 11:45 when the lines are open for you to add your voice to the discussions, if any. Then at 12 o'clock, we cross over to Cyprus to bring you HRH Linda Pallien and Career 101. At 12:30, the curtains are brought down for the end of the program. So in the gist, that's what's going to happen. So wherever you are listening to us from, once again, thank you very much for joining in. Let's kick off with what? With the quote for the day. And what does it say? Today being the 17th day of June, what does the quote for the day say? Okay. Success has a human face. Success has a human face. So treat people with care in all your interactions. I rest my case. So I don't like people who treat people like they are absolute rubbish, especially when we are up there. We think that, yeah, we got up there, but I've forgotten that you whilst you're going up, you pass by people to get up there. So you don't take time whilst you are there and not treating them well. They will just move, and once they move and you start plummeting or falling, oh boy, you wouldn't like what you will see. So let us all do our best and let us respect every man and every human being, every woman and every child. Let's give them the due respect, and I can tell you that you will see that impact in your life as well. Massive good morning to you once again. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, moving on straight to the weather. I think yesterday afternoon to this morning, the weather has held up nicely and we've enjoyed a bit of the heat. But This afternoon we'll see a mix of variable cloud and sunny spells across most of the UK. Showers are expected widely early on, but they will be limited to the north and east by the evening hours. Now tonight, the far north will be cloudy with patchy rain, dry with variable cloud, and clear spells for the remainder of the north and the west of the UK, largely clear in the south and east. Now let me bring you specifically what is happening here in London and the southeastern part of England. Well, now this afternoon we'll see a mix of patchy cloud and sunny spells throughout, where the cloud will appear. The odd shower cannot be ruled out though. Now tonight we'll see a few clouds to start with, but it will be dry. Later the clouds diminish, leaving mainly clear skies. Winds will diminish to light overnight. Now when it comes to the temperatures, top temperature is going to be 22 degrees, a bit milder than it's been of late, and the lowest 12 degrees. Pollen level is going to be very high. Let me say good morning to my lovely wife Lottie. She was saying that, well, the pollen is troubling her. Well, but she's taking a full dose of this antihistamine, so she can't take anything now. Oh, let me just bear with you and sympathize with every one of you who is going through something of the sort. Now, UV level is going to be high and pollution is going to be low. Sunset 21, and sunrise for tomorrow morning 04 for the 3 hours. And that brings us to the end of the weather forecast. But this is Starr Radio. I'm taking you straight to the travels. What's happening on your travels this morning? As we see on this platform, keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads as we keep navigated our promise, our bond. So on your travels this morning, for those of you using the underground, well, the district line has no service between Ealing Common and Ealing Broadway, while they fix a signal failure at Ealing Broadway. Good service on the rest of the line, though. That aside, all the other underground lines are running a good service. Now, DLR and London Tramlink running a good service, but London Overground has got issue. No service between Wilson Junction and Clapham Junction due to a police incident outside Kensington Olympia. Tickets are being accepted on London buses and London Underground services via any reasonable routes. Good service on all other routes. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. Now moving on straight to the major roads in London. Apart from the South Circular A205 that is experiencing serious delays, there are no exceptional delays on all other routes, and that takes us straight to the river bus. But I will tell you once again, continue to keep your eyes on the roads as we keep it navigated. Now on the river bus, good service running through, and then the London cable car is also running a very good service. And that brings us straight to the final segment of the travel update, that is the National Rail. On the National Rail, what have I got news for you? Well, the National Rail has got Great Western Railway, it's got minor delays, Northern Rail, minor delays, ScotRail, Special Service, Southern, minor delays, and Thameslink, minor delays. That aside, all the others are running good service. So check before you leave though. But if you happen to have yourself stuck in any of the delays there, continue to listen to us, because as and when we have any information, we'll bring it to the fore. But on that note, let me say it once again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your coming for today. But you know what? Continue to keep those eyes where? On the roads. Let's take a quick break. We come back and I'll bring you more of what is happening from across the globe, and that is known as Global Trotting. Stay tuned.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK. Before we go on, let me bring you one social announcement and then we continue with that. Well, Faith Revival Assembly presents Free to Worship, and that event is taking place this Saturday and Sunday respectively, and featuring are Reverend Bruce Gatti, aka Uncle Ato, and then Minister Ken and Cheshire. And also featuring the FRA Choir, that is the Faith Revival Assembly Choir, and Glorious Temple Choir of the Resurrection and Living Bread International Ministries. Now, the dates are 22nd of June, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., that is Saturday, and then 23rd of June, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., and that is Sunday. Now, event is taking place at Broadmead Primary School, 366 Sydenham Road, Croydon. The postcode is CR02EA. Postcode CR02EA. Okay. Now, the event is being hosted by Reverend and Lady Reverend Annan. Make a date with them and make sure you enjoy that program. But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay. Now, let's move on. And now let's have a look at what is happening from across the globe. And that is known as what? Global Trotting. So what have I got news for you? All right then. So let's kick off. Okay. So let's kick off from Nigeria as we normally will. So what is happening from Nigeria today? Nigeria's presidency has slammed foreign media jaundiced portrayal of the economic woes. Well, so well, as I do say all the times, you can't gag the foreign media. So your best way to do is by the best way to do it is getting the foreign media to say it, because if they are the local media, they are gagged always. They are gagged always. But let's see what is happening on that front this morning. Yes, so when you move on, UAE government to announce imminent lifting of visa ban on Nigeria, on Nigerians. We hope that's well for them. And then no 2020 NSAS protesters in legal detention. That's what the police are saying, in illegal detention. So they are saying if there are anyone's in there, that means legally they are. Maybe they committed some crime, that's why they are in there. However, I'm of the view that the president, being an advocate of peace and democracy, and yes, let me put it that way, who also lived or reigned on lived or reigned. Oh, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. My producer has spotted something and he's alerting me on that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you. If you don't have a producer, that's what happens. But well, I have got one, and he can be your producer as well. So let's move on. Let's have a look at all that whilst we are amending or correcting that error from there. Just bear with me whilst that is done as well. It is all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, I think we got it. Yeah. All right then. Okay, I think we got it now. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And then just bear with me, please. Okay, so all set. Thank you very much, Mr. Francis Guy. He checks up, making sure that everything is taken along perfectly. Thank you. All right. So now let's move on. Let's continue with what was happening. We're looking at from Nigeria this morning. So I'm of the view that if protesters, if anybody pertaining to or linked with the NSAS protest happens to be in incarceration, whether legal or illegal, they are saying that, well, they need to see to it that they are left. Unless, of course, some of the police officers have some way, somehow managed to, put these people behind bars without legal authority, which I know in most African countries that's pertain. But what do you think about that? Oh, okay. So we'll be looking into that story as well. Who is left? Do people have the name? Now, Sarah is urging the president, Tinubu, to align new minimum wage bill with international standards. But if your production doesn't actually pertain or match up with international standards, or the cost of production and those things, it will be difficult for you to say that let's match. So let's what is the minimum wage here in the UK? Is it 12 pounds or something, or is it 10 pounds? And they are saying that, well, they should match it. So are they going to match it? Do you think Nigeria can afford to pay its workers a minimum wage of what, 10 pounds here? We call it, okay, let's call it 10 pounds an hour. Can Nigeria afford that? No way, Mose. All right then. So let's see what is happening on that front. But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, direct AGF to discontinue Nnamdi Kanu's prosecution. Clark tells Tinubu. Now, yes, was it as we're going to say yesterday? Last Friday, Thursday and Friday, Tinubu's advocates or legal representatives were saying that they are of the view my apologies, Nnamdi Kanu's representatives were saying that they are of the view that there are some people who try to stoke the fire the moment they know that Nnamdi Kanu is supposed to go to court. Okay, so that there are some clashes there, some people losing their lives, and then they can now say that, well, it is because of his incitation, or he inciting the people, that is causing all that. But who knows? Now, Diago sells its shareholders in Guinness, Nigeria. Nigeria troops kill terrorist commander Buhari Yadi in Kaduna. Edo Kabir, Tinubu, Hamzat enjoin Nigerians to follow path of sacrifice. Okay, so let's see this. Tinubu celebrates Nigerian men on Father's Day as well. And Dangote Sugar Refinery issues 42.79 billion naira commercial papers at 23% and 25%. We'll be looking into all those stories as the program unfolds. Now, moving on to some other stories making the round this morning. At 4 minutes past the top of the hour. Now, Malawi Vice President Solus Chilema is to be laid to rest on Monday after state funeral. And then Zuma criticizes Ramaphosa's coalition government. Well, they got into coalition and they produce a president. So what can you do about that? Young people in Burkina Faso appear to boycott Kemi Seba. Why? We'll be looking into that. And Sapa and Africa Traditions, a South Africa pilot study uses traditional healers to test for various ailments. We'll be seeing more about that. We have got the efficacy when it comes to our traditional medicines or herbal medicines. We are good at that. But the issue is, what do we do? What do we do? It is all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. All right. Now, moving on to some other stories. Now, cost of Hajj pilgrimage under MPP government is disheartening. Well, they think that things have been hyped said that people cannot take the pilgrimage as well. But what do you think about all that? It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. Ambulance case. I told AGF there is I told AGF if there is any financial loss, it will be occasioned. Now, businessman Richard Jakpa has said he told Attorney General Godfrey Yabua Dame that previous NDC government had resolved all the problems surrounding the purchase of the ambulance, but was only left with its implementation. So why did they stall that and are going on to do all those things? It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. This one, a lot more going to be coming your way from there. It is from Starr, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Group Indum, the GN Bank owners, are calling on the Central Bank, the Bank of Ghana government. They say, admit your mistakes and restore GN Bank's license, Group Indum, to Bank of Ghana. Did the Bank of Ghana actually make mistakes? And if they made, why are they not restoring that? Okay, this is a lot more going to be coming your way from there. Stay tuned. Don't you go away. In other stories making the rounds as well. Well, anything to do to stop the crossing of the various seas to this part of the world, I think, will be done by, officials who see it as issue that they cannot actually resolve, and therefore if they have to take any nasty measures to do so. But a Greek Coast Guard threw migrants overboard to their death, a witness is saying. More than 40 people are alleged to have died as a result of Greek Coast Guard action. That is what information is coming through. And conscription squads sent Ukrainian men into hiding. And then Putin towns west as speculation over North Korea visit ramps up. We'll see. But he was calling for that he's going to he's advocating for a ceasefire. However, he goes on to say that ceasefire, the conditions that is putting on the table for that ceasefire is something that from the word go is a no. Now, when it comes to this part of the world as well, in the UK, Nigel Farage pressed on migration claim as Labour makes job pledges. Now, asked whether migration was voters' priority, the reformed UK leader says the exploding population should be the major issue. But Labour is also going on to talk about creating more jobs. A reformed UK candidate resigns over unacceptable blog posts. One gun seized each day on streets of London. Met police is saying. And then parents say sons abusers give a slap on the wrist. There are some of the stories that is making the rounds. But on a good note, well, the kickoff from the Euro 2024 first match by the England team, or the English team, they managed to beat Serbia 1-0. It was a tough match, and I was looking at them that I think luck was on their side. Let me put it that way, because if I say God is on the side of everybody, so luck was on their side. That's why they managed to sail through with that 1-goal difference. So, well, there's a lot more going to be coming away from there. It's all coming away from Starr Radio. Okay, let's enjoy this tune from Kofi Boham, and it's an acoustic live performance by him. I hope that you will enjoy it while the program goes on, and I will be with you in a moment. Stay tuned. Don't you go away.
Every breath that I am able, sing, I will sing of the goodness. Let's sing of his goodness one more time. Oh, my life. So good. With every breath, that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love you, Lord. I love you. For your mercies never fail. All my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my bed, I will sing of the goodness of God. All my life,
This is Starr Radio,
UK.
Every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness. 'Cause your goodness is running after, your goodness is chasing after me. The goodness is chasing after me. And his goodness is chasing after you, sir. Oh yeah, yeah, it's running after. Your goodness is running after. All my life you have been faithful. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God.
This is Starr Radio
UK.
This is what we are going to do, but I want to give.
This is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Kofi Boham for you, bringing you a live performance and a concert version of various Christian tunes there, and I hope that you enjoy.
I'm writing names of talkatives. All of this noise you're making on me.
Well, I have to bring you the rest of that tune during the course of the program, but for now, because we press with time, let's crack on and let me bring you everything, all the stories that we've looked at in details. But wherever you are, this is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, and I remain yours sincerely,
Archie on Starr Radio. Nobody does it better.
All right then. Well, so kicking off from Nigeria, the presidency has hit back at what it called the predetermined reductionist, derogatory and denigrating, they use a lot of adjectives there, way of foreign media outlets have reported on the country's current economic situation under the administration of President Bola Tinubu. In a strongly worded rejoinder, Special Advisor to President Tinubu on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, slammed the recent feature story by the New York Times titled "Nigeria Confronts Its Worst Economic Crisis in the Generation" as a jaundiced account that reflects a typical negative bias against African nations. Now, Onanuga accused the New York Times report of painting an overly gloomy picture based on interviews depicting the dire experiences of some Nigerians amid last year's inflationary spiral, while failing to mention the positive aspects and ameliorative policies being implemented by the government. The report is at best jaundiced or gloom and doom, as it's never mentioned that the positive aspects in the same economy as well as the ameliorative policies being implemented by the central and state government, Onanuga stated. The presidential aide stressed that Tinubu did not create Nigeria's economic troubles but inherited them, now likening it to a dead economy that required urgent interventions to prevent total collapse. He defended the government's decision in May, June 2023 to abolish the fuel subsidy regime that had cost the country £84.39 billion between 2005 and 2022. As well as the unification of multiple exchange rates moves, he said, were crucial to restore the fiscal discipline and attract investment. For decades, Nigeria had maintained a fuel subsidy regime that gulped $84.39 billion from the public treasury, currently with huge infrastructural deficit in a high need of better social services for its citizens. Onanuga said He added that by keeping the naira overvalued against the dollar, the previous government had allowed arbitrage opportunities that enabled a round tripling while failing to meet remittances obligation, drying up foreign direct investment. According to Nanuga, while the initial economic shocks were turbulent, with the naira depreciating to 1,900 naira per dollar, stability is being restored gradually, and the currency could recover to 1,000 naira to between 1,000 to 1,200 naira by the end of the year. He cited increasing foreign portfolios investment. Quarter 1 2024 trade surplus of 6.52 trillion naira, fresh loans from multilateral lenders, and multi-billion dollar investment commitments are signs of renewed investors or investor confidence stemming from the reforms. The presidency acknowledged that food inflation remains a key challenge, but said the government is implementing policies to boost domestic agriculture production, including fertilizer subsidies, incentives for dry season farming, and state-level interventions. With all the plans being executed, inflation, especially food inflation, will soon be tamed, Onanuga asserted. Now, that is what they see. And we know that the presidency is doing its best. But this is the experience of Nigerians that is being churned out by the New York Times. However, I agree with them that, well, if you are criticizing somebody, look at the good sides as well and mention those as well. But they think that the gloomy picture being painted, especially by media houses in the West, we're one of them as well, might not be painting the true picture. But I have Bishop Adesina who will tell you that, look, dire times are still going on. He didn't mention that it's going to be worse. Well, are we experiencing that? Well, maybe you are looking at the elephant from a different point of view. So whilst I'm seeing the elephant as a spear, you see it as a solid wall that we can rely on it. What about that? It's like the 10 blind men of Hindustan who went to see an elephant. That nursery rhyme there. Okay. Now, the Federal Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has announced that the United Arab Emirates government will soon reveal the date for lifting the visa ban that has restricted Nigerian travelers. Now, Keyamo made this disclosure during an interview with Otega Ogra, Senior Special Assistant to President Bola Tinubu, available on the State House of Nigeria YouTube page. The aviation minister acknowledged that while President Tinubu and the UAE President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan reached a resolution during President Tinubu's September 2023 working visit to the UAE, where the cessation of the visa ban on Nigeria was announced and additional processes were required. Keyamo said that these processes have now been completed, making the announcement of the lifting of the ban by the UAE government imminent. So let's see what will happen on that front. But we wish them the best if they are going to be doing so as well. Oh boy. Now let's look at the NSAS. I did talk about that last week. I think last Friday. Now, no NSAS protesters still in detention. That's what the information is saying. Now, the Nigerian police force categorically denies a recent allegation made by Senator Shehu Sani at the 2024 Democracy Day dinner on June 12, 2024 at the presidential villa in Abuja, where the former senator falsely claimed that some young people have been detained since the 2020 NSAS protests. The Nigerian police affirms that no individual is being unlawfully detained by the Nigerian police force or any other security agency in Nigeria due to the NSAS protest. All arrested individuals have been processed according to the law and none remain unlawfully detained. Okay, so he's saying they have been lawfully detained, and that's what he is looking at there. But in Lagos, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu pardoned approximately 100 suspects arrested by the police during the protest. For emphasis, no one anywhere in Nigeria is under police detention or being wrongly persecuted for participating in the NSAS protest. The issues surrounding the protests have been debated, researched, and documented, and lessons have been learned from it. And it goes on further to say, we have forgiven ourselves and moved on. We urge the public to disregard this claim and remain assured of our commitment to upholding justice, the rule of law, and human rights. We encourage verifying information before making public statement to avoid harm and incitement. This is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, one other story, and then we will take a break and we'll move on to other parts of Africa as well. Now, the leader of the Niger Delta Forum, PANDEF, Chief Edwin Clark, has told President Bola Tinubu to direct the Attorney General of the Federation to discontinue the prosecution of the leader of the Independent People of Biafra, IPOB Nnamdi Kanu, as his release will end the sit-at-home order now hurting the Southeast. He made the suggestions in statement on Sunday, reiterating the imperative of fully integrating the Igbos in the country as it was pre-Civil War. The main reasons behind the charges preferred against Nnamdi Kanu is his involvement in calling for a referendum using the IPOB for a Biafran state, while others have made similar calls, are moving about their daily lives freely while Nnamdi Kanu is being detained. The release of Nnamdi Kanu by Mr. President, the release of Nnamdi Kanu, okay, just bear with me. The release of Nnamdi Kanu by Mr. President on political grounds is overdue, as earlier explained by Mr. President. Mr. President should direct the Attorney General to enter a nolle prosequi to free Nnamdi Kanu, who has shown his intention to work with the Federation and with the federal government in order to bring peace and stability in the Southeast and to Nigerians as a whole, as it has been recently done in similar cases, and treasonable felony as the case of Miyati Allah President Abdullahi Bello Bodijo of the Nasarawa state, he stated, stressing that he does not support the activities of the IPOB. He maintained that all citizens must be accorded equal rights to have a democratic and united front. But what do you think about that? Do you think the president is going to do that? Well, listeners, it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, 11:23. Let's take a break, and we come back. We look at some of the other stories. Stay tuned, and don't you go away.
Archie on Starr Radio. Nobody does it better.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medase.
Hey, Charlie. You're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy. You stressed out. Tired? Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Star Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Orta, you say fire.
Welcome back to the program. It is all coming your way from Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And let's touch on one other story, and then we can bring the update from Nigeria to a close. And this time around, the minimum wage debate seems to be going on. But the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, that SERAP, has called on President Bola Tinubu to ensure that his government's proposed bill in the minimum wage for Nigerian workers align with international obligations to promote and advance the rights of workers to an adequate living wage. Now, in his Democracy Day speech on June 12, President Tinubu announced plans to send an executive bill to the National Assembly to establish a new minimum wage as low as the law for the next 5 years or less. However, SERAP expressed concerns in a letter dated June 15, 2024, signed by Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare. The organization stated that the proposed minimum wage is grossly inadequate and does not meet the requirements of international human rights treaties to which Nigeria is a party. Now, SERAP emphasized that the executive bill should reflect international standards, ensuring Nigerian workers are provided with at least a living wage that accounts for the cost of living. The letter stated that any proposed minimum wage that fails to guarantee a life in dignity. See, but the question is, can the government be able? And if the government, let's say the federal government is able, what about the states? Okay, now let us say that any proposed minimum wage that fails to guarantee a life in dignity for Nigerian workers and their families will be entirely inconsistent and incompatible with international standards. The organization highlighted the persistent and systematic violation of workers' rights by successive governments, leading to millions of Nigerian workers remaining impoverished due to low wages and lack of social security and protection. Now, SERAP warned that if the government sends a bill to the National Assembly that does not meet international standards and is passed into law, the organization would take appropriate legal action to compel the government to comply with its requests in the public interest. The proposed recommendations are not unrealistic, as they are based on Nigeria's international human rights obligation. Human rights are not a matter of charity, they say. Upholding Nigeria's international obligations regarding the right of workers to an adequate living wage will protect the purchasing power of workers in poverty, the letter added. Recall, the SERAP recently called on President Bola Tinubu to commemorate his first year in office by publicly releasing his assets declaration form. That's good. But SERAP also urged the president to encourage Vice President Kashima, ministers and state governors to follow suit. Who will want to do that? Some things that they will acquire and they'll put in the names of what do we call them? Families or friends or cronies, and it will be difficult for you to actually check that out. But whatever it is, this is all coming your way from Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London at 11:30. Now let's move on to some of the other stories making the rounds in other parts of Africa. The sad story that happened sometime last week. The late Malawian vice president will be buried today in his home district of Nchew, 180 kilometers south of Lilongwe. Now, the 51-year-old Salos Chilema and 8 other individuals, including the ex-wife of the former Malawian president, died when a twin-propeller aircraft went down in a hilly forested area in bad weather. A state service was conducted on Saturday, led by the country's president Lazarus Chakwera, to pay tribute to the vice president. Officials with Chilema's United Transformation Movement political party, a party different from their president's, criticized the government response as slow and said there was no transponder on the plane concerning for an aircraft carrying a high level delegation. Ha 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 ha. Now, Chilema and Chakwera had led Malawi under unusual circumstances. They both ran for president in 2019 as opposition candidates, but teamed up to challenge election results in court over irregularities and won. They then won the rerun of the elections. The first time in Africa that a court overturned election results resulted in a defeat for the incumbent president. Well, I agree with them. That's the first time because that happened in Kenya when there was a rerun. Kenyatta won. Okay, but then he also presented an olive branch, and then we had our old man joining him to rule until they went for election, and then he lost again. But Kenyatta did his bit then. Now, Chilema had said Chakwera had agreed to step down after his first term and allow him to run for president in the next year's elections as part of their alliance. However, Chakwera announced he will run for a re-election, and there were signs of friction between the two. The conspiracy theory now is setting in. Now, Chilema also had been recently faced corruption charges over allegations that he received money in return for the influence in the awarding of government procurement contracts for the armed forces, and the police prosecutors dropped the charges last month. He had denied the allegation. Now, Chilema had just returned from an unofficial visit to South Korea on Sunday. He was in his second term as vice president after serving from 2014 to 2019 under former President Peter Mutharika. Now, the search for the plane prompted an international response. Chakwera said the US, the UK, and Norway and Israel had offered assistance and provided specialized technologies. The US Embassy in Malawi said it had assisted and offered the use of Department of Defense small C-12 plane. Malawi also asked negotiators from the neighbors, Zambia and Tanzania, if they could help. Now, Malawi, a country of around 21 million people, was ranked as the fourth poorest nation in the world by the World Bank in 2019. But, well, Chilema to be laid in state today, and I will say, may his soul rest in perfect peace. Now, this conspiracy theory and everything that is going on, we'll follow its suit and see what is going to happen on that front. But it is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. In South Africa, former South African President Jacob Zuma has criticized Sunday the country's new coalition government and called for fresh elections. There must be a repeat. No, there must be an election. Zuma, who's also the leader of the new Nkunto Wesizwe party, said at a press briefing in Johannesburg. The MK party came third in the May 29 election and said none of its 58 newly elected lawmakers will join the ruling coalition. Now, Zuma has previously said that his party would negotiate with Cyril Ramaphosa if the leader of the African National Congress, a position largely driven by Zuma's animosity towards the man who replaced him as president. Ramaphosa was re-elected as president by the lawmakers for a second term on Friday after his party struck a dramatic late coalition deal. The 71-year-old Ramaphosa secured his second term and the help of lawmakers from the country's second biggest party, the Democratic Alliance, and some smaller parties. The whole big group of political parties all complaining simultaneously that we are robbed here. We want this to be looked at, Zuma said. The former president told his party supporters that affected parties will take the matter up with courts outside the country, saying the South African judicial system could not be trusted to be impartial. Really? That is a scathing remark against them. Wow, interesting. He said in the quote, "We are going to the international court so that the country does not have the South Africa judges doing so," he said. Now, Zuma also called for new elections to take place, citing irregularities at polling stations. "Let us see the votes properly. We have many stories about votes. Some burnt. You don't even need to listen to what people have to say," he added. Now, Zuma stepped down as president in disgrace in 2018 amid a swell of corruption allegations. The South Africa's president Cyril Ramaphosa was re-elected by lawmakers for a second term on Friday. The result comes after his African National Congress party struck a dramatic late coalition deal with the main opposition and other parties. Ramaphosa won convincingly in a vote against a surprise candidate who was also nominated in Parliament, Julius Malema, the leader of the far left economic freedoms fighters. The 71-year-old Ramaphosa secured a second term with the help of lawmakers for the second biggest Democratic Alliance party and others after the ANC lost its 30-year parliamentary majority in the landmark election 2 weeks ago. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK, 11:37 the time. Let's move on straight on to some other stories making the round in Ghana as well before we cross over. Let's talk about the ambulance case in Ghana. Now, businessman Richie Japa has said that he told Attorney General Godfrey Yeboah-Dame that the previous NDC government had resolved all the problems surrounding the purchase of the ambulance but was only left with its implementation. He said he pointed it out to the Attorney General that if there was any financial loss by the time they implement the addendum, that financial loss would have been occasioned by the then Minister of Health, Honorable Ajimamenu, for all these years due to his inactions. Mr. Japa, a businessman, made this known in court during his cross-examination by lawyers of Dr. Kessel Atuforsen, the second accused person. Dr. Atuforsen, the current minority leader in Parliament, had business man Richard Japa have been accused of willingly or willfully causing financial loss to the Republic to the tune of 2.37 million euros through the purchase of ambulances. They have pleaded not guilty and are standing trial. In his response to the questions during the cross-examination, Dr. Aziz Bamba, before the court presided over by Justice Efia Sewa Saribochwe, he said he gave the minister letter from Alex Sebefia, the former Minister of Health. I gave him a letter dated 20th of February 2015. I also gave him a letter which was a letter from the former Minister of Health, Honorable Alex Sebefia, who had nominated government officials to proceed to Dubai to Big C for dispute resolution, which led to this addendum. Also, I forwarded to him the invitation from a letter from Big C to the government of Ghana, based on which the nomination personnel were sent to Dubai. And I also forwarded to him the final addendum of the main contract as a result of dispute resolution, which took place in Dubai, which contained obligations for Big C and obligations for the government in the implementation of the addendum to the main contract. Now, these were the documents I submitted to him. He told the court, "You may want to know why I gave these specific documents, and it was that I wanted him to read them and realize that all the problems that started from the inception of the project till the time the new government of NPP took over had been resolved through the dispute resolution clause in the contract, i.e. Exhibit 5, which led to the addendum signed by both parties, and all that was left was for his government and his Minister of Health to implement the addendum in order to save the government any debt that might be coming from us to the government, and that there was no any financial loss by any except his government that took over from 2017 and has refused to implement the addendum from the previous government. So is it just a ploy? Is it just a ploy to actually cause financial loss to the state by the ruling government? That is a question, and it's quite an interesting one. But well, let's see. The case is going on. So, but council put to Mr. Japa that under the terms of the contract was when the ambulances were to be handed over to the Ministry of Health to be used as ambulances. Now, responding to that, Mr. Japa said, per the contract, letters of credit were supposed to have been established immediately upon the signing of the contract, by the government of Ghana reneged and breached the terms. So under which government did this happen? And that is what I talked about the other time, a few times on this program, where I've talked about the fact that we have edifices or buildings or that the Sagleme project, where we have built high-rise buildings. They are all sitting there, and we say, you know what, some work that has to be done to that so that it can be habitable. Oh, it's going to cost arms and legs, and we don't want to do that, and it's sitting there rotting away. And we have these ambulances also sitting there. Why? It's because it's not their own personal money. It is not. And that thing where we come in and we say, because one government started a particular project, and because we didn't have, or we will not have the chance to also have some chop, as we say in the Ghanaian parlance, so let's abandon that project and then let's see what happens. I think it's something that we need to hold government accountable for that. Any government at all. Because if state money is used in implementing or starting a project, we expect that we get the full usage or benefit of that particular project, and not what they come to tell us all this while. Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK, 11:43 at the time, the morning show, the program. I am Archie. Now, Group Indum has contested the Bank of Ghana's statement regarding GN savings from August 16, 2019. On June 14, the Bank of Ghana defended its decision to revoke GN Bank's license in 2019, asserting that the revocation was due to significant regulatory violations. The central bank claimed that the GN Bank's failure to adhere to critical financial regulations and banking standards jeopardized its operational stability. The Bank of Ghana implied that it cannot restore GM Bank's license as demanded by the bank's management. In its August 2019 statement, the Bank of Ghana detailed that the GN Banks failed to meet requirements for capital adequacy, liquidity, governance, and risk management. However, Group Indum, in a release on Sunday, June 16, argued that the Bank of Ghana's declaration of GN savings insolvency was based on widely inaccurate information. The group demanded the restoration and upgrade of GN savings licenses, asserting that the Bank of Ghana's claim of insufficient funds was incorrect. Now, Group Indum also stated that the GN savings had more than 30.3 million Ghana cedis cited by the Bank of Ghana in its decision. The Statements Bank of Ghana issued on August 16, 2019 regarding GN savings are widely inaccurate. Bank of Ghana was aware that the GN savings and had available to it more than 30.33 million Ghana cedis that it relied upon to declare it insolvent. Now, GN Savings was not allowed by regulations, and GN Bank did not engage in illegal foreign currency transfers. GN Savings complied with all requirements laid down by the Bank of Ghana as Savings and Loans Company and wrote a detailed report on June 2019 to prove that its business was moving positively forward. Now, these facts are undisputable. Bank of Ghana had made a mistake that it must admit to and correct. Today, the government of Ghana, its agencies and contractors all Group Indum Company over 7.1 billion Ghana cedis. With this money, customers will be paid and GN Savings will have enough capital to become a universal bank once again. Portions of the statement said. Now, it is quite interesting. Now, the government has borrowed all these sums of money from the GN Bank, right? And now they are saying, you don't have enough money. Now, if they want them to have enough money, pay them what you owe them. And they will have enough money. So why is it that government demands those things from them? And they thought, okay, government is the best. They've got the best credit record that when you loan anything to them, they will be able to pay it back. And they do that. And then you come back to say, well, looking at your book today, you don't have that money. And therefore, you know what? We want you out. But well, I don't think that is fair on them. But this is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now exactly to what? 13 minutes to the top of the hour. Now, let me announce the lines open. If you want to hop in, feel free to do so. Call us on 0208 133 2257, or you can text us. It's 0753 966 1744, 0753 966 1744, or our X handle is at Starr Radio UK, and email address is info@starradiouk.com. Make sure your dials are logged in and let us hear from you. This is Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, let me move on straight as we are pressed with time. So in other parts of the world, as I did say earlier on, exactly at 12 o'clock, I'll be taking you to Cyprus, where our own HRH Linda Pallien is, to tell you exactly what we're going to be doing. Well, let's go to Israel first. Now, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has dissolved his 6-member war cabinet just over a week after the departure of centrist opposition leader Benny Gantz and his ally Gadi Eisenkot. Now, Israel's media reports that sensitive issues about the war with Hamas in Gaza will now be discussed by a smaller forum. Mr. Netanyahu had faced demands from far-right ministers in his governing coalition to join the war cabinet, which could have further strained their ties with the U.S. and other international allies. A spokesman for the Israel Defense Forces, the IDF, said that as far as it was concerned, it will not affect the chain of command. Mr. Gantz and Mr. Eisenkot quit over the Prime Minister's leadership, including the lack of a plan for post-conflict Gaza. The two former military chiefs had joined a national unity government with Mr. Netanyahu's right-wing coalition days after the start of the war in October. The war cabinet was in the coalition government with Gantz at his request. As soon as Gantz left, there is no need for a cabinet anymore, Mr. Netanyahu told ministers on Sunday. Now, Haaretz reported that some of the issues previously discussed by the war cabinet will be transferred for discussions in the security cabinet, which includes the far-right national security and financial ministers Itamar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich. Now, it said sensitive decisions will be addressed in a smaller consultation forum, which was expected to include Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, Strategic Affairs Minister Ron Dermer, and the chairman of the ultra-Orthodox Shas Party, Ayer Derry, who was an observer in the war cabinet. Listeners, this is Star Radio UK. This is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. All right then. Now, moving on to other parts of the world as well. For months, Russia watchers have known President Vladimir Putin will be heading to North Korea. Now, after Kim Jong-un's big green bulletproof train trundled around Russia's Far East last year, the North Korean leader invited Mr. Putin to visit him. That invitation was duly accepted. But this long expected visit is now said to be just days away. South Korean sources suggest it could be as soon as Tuesday, and satellite images have also spied apparent preparations underway in North Korea. One thing is for sure, it has journalists both in Russia and abroad clamoring for any hints of news. Now, the Kremlin says those details will come in due course, but speculation is now at fever point. But why does it matter, and why now? Now, firstly, there is a natural curiosity given to it will only be Mr. Putin's second time in North Korea, the first being in 2000 at the start of his presidential career, when Mr. Kim's father, Kim Jong-il was Kim Jong-il was still supreme leader. But beyond that, this is a relationship that, though not at the levels enjoyed during the Soviet Union, has now gone from mutual pleasantries to mutual benefits, and it has the West worried. The Kremlin has said there is scope for very deep relations between Russia and North Korea, and although it is said this shouldn't concern anyone, it recommended those thinking of challenging the bargaining ties to think again. There has been a lot of speculations about what exactly the two sides want from one another, and it seemed to boil down to security of supplies. Now, Russia is likely seeking ammunition, construction workers, even volunteers to go to the front line in Ukraine, says political scientist and Putin's ally Sergei Markov. Well, so how are we going to see that? How is it going to all pan out? Well, I'm going to be telling you more about that as the days and the months unfolds. It is All Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now let's come to the UK front on the election front as well. Just a few minutes to bring the first part of the program to close and take you straight on. Now, Brexit remains the elephant in the room, claims a campaigner. Earlier reported on comments from Shadow Chancellor Rachel Reeves on Labour seeking closer ties, trade ties with the EU in certain areas. Nigel Farage, meanwhile, said the UK should instead focus on the trade with the rest of the world rather than the EU declining part of the global economy. Zoe Gardner from the pro-EU campaign group Another Europe is Possible says Brexit is the massive elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about. As a reminder, neither Labour nor the Conservatives are planning for the UK to rejoin the EU, but Gardner says Brexit is impacting the UK's economy, trade and food production. It's more sneaky to pretend that it isn't an issue, or to pretend that we don't have to discuss it democratically in the process of an election campaign, Gardner said to some news network. But on the same show, journalist Poppy Coburn from the Telegraph says the cost of living crisis and low wages are long-standing problems that people link to the more recent decision to the EU. Okay, so let's see. So about Reform UK leader Nigel Farage says the exploding population should be the major issue in the general election. Pressed on whether legal migration was voters' priority when Labour doesn't mention it in its 6 pledges, Farage says Labour's support mainly comes from total disgust at the Conservatives. Now, Reform will this afternoon launch its election document in South Wales, which it calls Our Contract with You. Now, Labour is focusing on a new National Wealth Fund, which it claims will create 650,000 jobs over the 5 years. At a meeting in London, Shadow Chancellor Rachel Reeves tells business leader their fingers are also over the Labour's manifesto. Now, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak will be out campaigning around Yorkshire and East Midlands. But how is the polls going? How is it all panning out? Now, one of Reform's candidates have resigned over unacceptable blog, and let me bring that your way, and then we can bring the program to a close. The first part of the program close, then we can take you to Cyprus, where HRH Linda Pallien is. Reform UK's parliamentary candidate in Kemi Badenoch's constituency has resigned from the party after it emerged he previously urged people to vote for the BNP. Now, Grant St. Clair Armstrong, who is standing in northwest Essex, also used a blog to post jokes using racial slurs and made a joke about female hormones, according to the Times. Now, he told the BBC News he had never supported the BNP and bitterly regretted the comments. Mr. St. Clair Armstrong will still appear on the ballot paper as a Reformed UK candidate because the deadline for the nomination has passed, but if he is elected, he will stand as an independent candidate. The Times reported that in 2010, the candidate had written, "I could weep now every time I pick up a British newspaper and read the latest about the state of the UK. No doubt Enoch Powell will be doing the same if he was alive. My solution, vote BNP." Mr. St. Clair Armstrong said he posted a comment sometime between 2004 and 2007, and he was an angry man at the time. "I have never supported the BNP. I think they are a disgusting organization," he said. Asked whether he had chosen to resign, he said the party had forced him to. To be honest, I wouldn't have stepped down. I would have let the people decide, he said. Now, so far, with all the various interviews and releasing of manifestos by the various parties, has it swayed your decision on who to vote for, or you are still adamant or still bent on voting for a particular party? I would love to hear from you. But Labour is accusing Tories of planning unfunded tax cuts. That's going to be Liz Truss' case again, right? Well. So a lot more going to be coming your way, but for now we're going to take a musical break whilst I prepare the grounds to bring you HRH Linda Pallien, and let's go straight to Kofi Boham and let's enjoy Broken Pencils while I get it ready for you.
I have a race, no time to waste. Listen, there are many voices in this life, and to be honest, many are not nice. So don't hear something and pick a knife. No, most of these things are nothing but lies, right? Cause teacher said be careful how you hear, cause there are talkatives here, they are everywhere. So silence the voices in your head and give no attention to your fears. So let's sing, say, I'm writing names of talkatives. All of this noise you're making on me. Teacher will get you when he comes. Teacher will get you when he comes. I have a race, no time to waste, no time to waste. One more time. I'm writing names of talkatives. I'm writing names of talkatives. All of this noise you're making on me. Teacher will get you when he comes. I have a race, no time to waste. Can we talk? I want you to call this one. Say, talkatives. Let me hear you. Everybody say, talkatives. Do you know any? Have you met any talkatives? Write some names of talkatives. Some friends are.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Some old friends are. Some landlords are. Your exes are. I said your exes are. Do you know any talkatives? Addictions are. Demons are. Social media. Bloggers. Your ex-friend. I know you know.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Do you know any?
Very, very well.
People's opinions are. You are too fast. You are too slow. She talks too much. This one is too quiet. You pray too much. You don't pray at all. Every day you are preaching. Sometimes you don't preach. You like makeup too much. Your face is too raw. She doesn't like me.
Okay, so that is Kofi Boham for you. But now it's time for us to cross over to Cyprus, where we have our own HRH in the Pallien. And then today we're looking at establishing your brand. So stay tuned and don't you go away. Having you on the show now makes us feel good.
Thank you.
How was your weekend?
Really good, actually. I was doing some, well, normally not extreme sports, but under this stormy weather, it was extreme. It was quite nice. Stand up paddleboarding in the storm. Yeah.
Wow.
But we got to see some seals and go into some caves, so that was really nice.
Oh wow. Wow, that's a good one. You see, listeners, you want to have a nice weekend, you can do it the Linda style. And you want to work, well, you want to find some jobs, some lovely ones, you have to do it the Linda style. And which one is that? That's what she's going to be bringing your way on Career 101 today. So wherever you are, don't you go away. What are we looking at this afternoon?
Today we're looking at establishing your brand, raising your profile and authority.
Okay, establishing your brand. Okay, brand Linda, brand Frank, brand Archie. What brand is that? Okay, so we're going to be telling you more on that, or Linda is going to be telling you more on that. So don't you go away. Over to you, Linda.
Absolutely. So, in the context of this this session, I want us to listen to a pitch of someone introducing themselves, and I want us to reflect on it. And how would you introduce yourself? How would you what do you think about this? And if you would use that to explain yourself, to introduce yourself, and then we'll talk about how to raise your profile as a nobody. And in this context, I'm starting from people that don't have a brand at all, or don't necessarily feel like they need to build a brand. And someone who considers himself a normal worker or employee.
Okay, so yeah, go on.
So here's Peter's pitch. I'm like a mushroom. I have a strong base in marketing and finance, which grows into a wider array of interests like art, graphic design, and investing. Just like a mushroom, I spread out to reach new areas that interest me and broaden my horizon. By spreading out, I absorb the information and the environment to grow, and use that to strengthen my base.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, do I want to be thinking about that when I want to maybe know somebody and all that? Do I want to give myself that work of pondering about what a mushroom is and all that picture that is drawn? That is a question that I think Linda is going to answer for you. Over to you.
I want us to think about this introduction. What does it tell you about this person and about the brand that this person is trying to portray? Will you trust them? Will you not?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking you.
Okay. Now, interestingly, I'm looking at the mushroom and the way it's describing themselves as a mushroom. I think that mushrooms are quite feeble as well. So if you're saying that you are like a mushroom and spreading on, I said somebody steps on you once and you are gone. So if you are using that as something that I think that, nah, I don't want to work with mushrooms. So spread on, I will not give in. Nah. But maybe somebody will look at it differently though. Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, you know that they're using mushrooms now to build bricks, to build houses.
Oh man, I see. Maybe that person is going to say that. Okay. That is yeah. Go on.
This is exactly the point. It's very ambiguous, and you're pretty much leaving your brand and your how you're perceiving yourself to the interpretation of the listener. And like, they might associate mushrooms to being weak, or not value. So sometimes when a lot of people in the creative field try to stand out from the crowd and be different, and they do this, they use this different analogy or metaphor to express themselves, and sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's lost on people. So this is an example of how sometimes your brand can be misunderstood. And maybe you need to make it clearer. If it was in the context of brickwork or eco-sustainability, where the context is understood, then this will be acceptable. But if it's in a lay context, then probably it's not the best example.
Yeah, interesting.
You see, I remember I've been asked.
Linda, I can't hear some of what you are saying there. It seems to be breaking in there. So, check the audio, please. Yeah, now I can hear you. I can hear you now.
So, in some job interviews, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, please.
In some job interviews, people ask some of these seemingly random questions, and they have an interpretation to it. But again, if the candidate doesn't understand the context of the question, sometimes it doesn't. So I was given an example where I was asked in a job interview, if you were a flavor of crisp, what flavor would you be? And then years ago, when I had nothing to do with career consulting and I didn't understand these questions at all, I looked at the interviewer and said, well, I don't eat crisps, so I wouldn't know.
I'll be Marmite.
I was just like, I have no idea. Well, I was like, what I do like is dried mango, so I would be. So again, to an interviewer, that could be ambiguous. But I mean, I still got a job. I didn't take the job, but I got the job offer. So clearly, the chances as much. But speaking, why we're talking about this, I'm doing a course on raising your profile for a UK government organisation, and we were discussing this. How to raise your profile,
Go on. Yeah, it's breaking a bit, but I can still hear you. So go on.
Okay. And how to raise your profile, and how to build your authority within your workplace, and if it's important. Now, I would think I'll address the importance issue. It's important at any level, any stage of your career, right? It's important if you're looking to progress. It's important to build your self-esteem. It's important to build your reputation. It's important to build your sort of personal brand, even if it's not a professional brand, because it translates from you at work to you at home. If you're not assertive at home, you're not going to be assertive at work. You find that some people are bullied throughout wherever they go, because they don't have a good sense of self, so they can't stand up for themselves. So it's really important to establish a kind of self-esteem.
Okay, listeners, just bear with us. We're having a bit of audio fluctuating there, but just bear with us. Linda is sorting it out. But today we are looking at establishing your brand and raising your profile, and a lot more from there. Now, have you branded yourself? What brand are you? Are you using symbols? Some people will be saying, well, maybe I'm a cat, maybe I'm a lion or whatever. But how does that even impact you? You want to know more? Continue to stay tuned while we have Linda here to throw more light on that. Over to you, Linda.
Absolutely. And while you said that if you're going to describe yourself as a cat or a lion, then maybe give more context as well. So as to some of the qualities that makes you think that you associate to that animal or that flavor or that mushroom, like in the example above. So I'm going to give you some steps to building your profile and how you can, just simple things that you can do to raise your profile, to establish a profile if you don't have one, or elevate it so that you can be promoted easier, or you can be associated with the industry that you're with me, so you can command more of a pay rise, more respect, more authority. That's what we want when we're improving and climbing up the ladder, the corporate ladder, or even working with clients. So the first one is aligning your personal goals with your professional goals. So a lot of people say, I really would love to get to a manager level. But your personal goal says, I don't want to work past 40 hours per week because I want that work-life balance. So if there's a mismatch between your personal and professional goals, that needs to be addressed. Otherwise, those two goals are fighting each other. Are you with me, Archie?
Yes, I am. I can hear you loud and clear. It's better now. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I was talking to myself. Right. The second way to raise your profile is balance your career development with your day-to-day. And I think this is the hardest part, especially for most middle managers, because the day takes so much out of you that before you realize a year has passed, 2 years has passed, and you haven't stopped to think, what's my next step? So really making time out to think about what your next step is, to put into place measures that will get you to that next step. Whether it's taking this extra course, or maybe documenting what you've done so that you have evidence to show when it comes to promotion time, whether it's taking extra training to be able to get to the next level. But being able to balance it side by side with your day-to-day job will really help you when it comes to promotion time or career change time. The third one is being assertive and building authority. Now, I really like this because many people think when we talk about being assertive, you have to become a boss and you have to be authoritative to be assertive. But it doesn't necessarily work that way. There's bosses that are extroverts and there's bosses that are introverts. It's just understanding yourself, what's for you, and knowing yourself enough to be able to say, this works for me or this doesn't work for me.
Okay.
I have a whole talk on assertiveness for shy people or networking for shy people, which we can.
But Linda, let me ask. Let me digress a bit and ask you this question. Do introverts become good leaders? Do introverts become good leaders, or are introverts good leaders?
It depends what you're looking for
in
a leader. Introverts have qualities that perhaps extroverts don't have. So they have the reflective quality. They'll think about it. So you're more likely to get a well thought out, well planned out process. And that you need that in a good leader. If they're going to give you direction. So if they're going to be an authoritative, directive leader, then maybe an introvert leader. They just need to balance it out with dealing with other people, delegate them, delegate. So whatever, introverts or extroverts, finding the complementary person to balance you out so that they're picking up the slack where you fall short. The fact that you are
Okay. We lost the tail end of that statement. The tail end of that statement, we lost it.
That was the fact that you're an introvert doesn't mean you won't make a good leader. So that should deter anyone from going for a leadership position.
Okay.
Just highlighting the assets of what you would bring to the role, or why you would make a good leader.
Okay, that's good. Listeners, Career 101 with HRH Linda Pallien, and today we're looking at establishing brand and raising your profile, etc., etc. Continue to listen to us. Let's go to Linda. Over to you, Linda.
I'm just going to put my headphones in and see if I can stop the interaction.
Okay.
That's still.
Yeah, you can still hear that, but okay. Yeah, I can hear you better. Go on.
Still hear it.
Yeah, I can hear you better. Yeah.
Okay, so the next one is building a you job, a you-centered job. A lot of us don't feel like we can be completely ourselves at work, but the more elements that you introduce in your personal life into your professional life actually helps to make the job yours. And this is a debate point between career consultants, because you think, oh well, how professional can you be if you have your personal life in it? But I'll give you an example of one of my favorite people of all time, Judge Judy on TV. When the program, I don't know if people have seen Judge Judy, but it's a US judge show where they show real cases, and a judge presiding over those cases. When the show first started, actually, it was new, it was never done before, and the judge was pushing for it to be called Hot Bench. Whereas the producers were like, oh no, we want it to be personal, so let's call it Judge Judy. She didn't like it, but she was outvoted. And people were telling her how to do her job, in terms of, and maybe you should be a bit nicer, it will get more views that way, whatever. But what made the show a success is bringing that feisty,
the no-nonsense attitude.
Exactly. And she said, look, you can do your job and be a producer and tell me how I should wear my hair and what lighting to use. But one thing I know how to do is my job. And she talks about how she had to fight to be herself there. But coupled with the program being named after her made it very, very hard to replace her afterwards. So introducing elements of you into your job really helps to make the job you. So I was just talking to somebody who's been promoted to promote health within the government systems and come up with initiatives. And this person in her spare time does marathons and Tough Mudder and stuff extreme sports. And the coaching advice was, don't miss a chance to bring all of that into your current role, because if you showcase what you would naturally do anyway in your spare time, as a key role of you taking initiative in your role, now the role and you become synonymous.
Mm-hmm.
People can't talk about the role without talking about you.
Yeah.
And vice versa. It makes it sticky in people's minds. You live and breathe what your job role is,
mm-hmm.
and it's very hard then to replace you. So definitely having that personal professional, creating a you job and being in flow, and having that these assets woven in, interlinked. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Better
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
I'm having now the interactions in my headphones.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then the fifth one is, we all know about commercial awareness, but I want to introduce commercial presence. You have to have a presence within the industry and within the commercial space, not just within your team or within the company, but being involved in terms of speaking at events, writing papers, writing contributions, being part of a panel discussion, stuff like that, really helps to build that commercial presence, so that you're almost a commodity within the field that you work in. And this is the idea, or part of the idea, of trade unions.
Okay.
But going even more so in terms of building a personal brand within the commercial space that you're in, talking about initiatives that have been introduced, what it looks like on the ground, or maybe the strategic reasons behind why these initiatives have been introduced, and maybe your personal views on them as well, or how to improve them, will help you to have a commercial presence as well as commercial awareness within the field you're in. And of course, that helps you to really establish authority within your field.
Yes, go on, we can hear you.
So that's the end of that. These 5 points I've spoken about in terms of establishing your authority. So just a recap of those: aligning your personal goals with the professional goals or the business goals, making time to do career development alongside the day-to-day, creating a you job that's synonymous with your personal and professional life, having commercial presence as well as commercial awareness, and of course being very aware of some of these statements you used to describe yourself in terms of the mushroom, and how it sounds to the listener, and of course what previous knowledge they may have about what the metaphor you're using.
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK, HRH Linda Pallien this afternoon, and we're looking at how to establish brands, branding yourself and raising your profile as well. Now, just giving a few facets to how you can do that, and I hope that you are listening through. But if you happen to miss anything, don't you worry at all. You can go back to the broadcast that we've done on our social media platforms and re-listen to it, or it will be ready on our podcast session on our apps, and then you can go there, re-listen to it, because it's going to help you a great deal. But let's go back to Linda for some more of the fact that she's got for us. Over to you, Linda.
Fantastic. So we've spoken about how to build your authority, and we've said why it's important to build your authority. We've said some of the things that you can do to increase your authority at whatever stage of the career you're at, which included strategic alliances, for example, whether it's professional bodies or networking, speaking on podcasts and internet radios, giving a talk, writing a blog, social media, building and starting a following on a specific field that's related to your industry. perhaps, and distributing content or contributing to it, and also teaching workshops and classes will all help you build and establish authority within your field. And we know that it's important because when it comes to promotions, when it comes to career change, when it comes to pay rise, when it comes to being invited, you know, how much you get paid is a perception of the value you bring to the marketplace. And if you want to increase your value, then all of these are ways that you can increase your value and your popularity within your industry that will make you indispensable within the field you work in.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Now, when it comes to the raising of the profile, so by doing all this, will that raise your profile automatically?
Absolutely. Within time, people get to know you. They get to understand what you do, how you're doing it, what your thought process is. You begin to be seen as the expert in it, or at least the go-to person, or somebody who has a valuable contribution to make. And they might even start asking you, and that's where you go from just executing at the manager level to being a strategic partner within your field, when you're being paid to think rather than do.
Yeah. Okay. Another question that someone is asking about creating logos of a sort. It's a branding, and therefore they're looking at, do I have to create a personal logo or something for myself that when somebody sees this, then that means that is Archie or that is Linda? Do you think there's a need to do that before you go branding?
Okay, I'm gonna answer that in a very coach way. What I would say to my clients, that is the perfect way to procrastinate. A lot of people
I'm still waiting.
A lot of people use that as an excuse. I'm going to get a logo and I'm going to pay a graphic designer to do this. Nobody cares. Until there's substance there, nobody cares. And there's a lot of people without personal logos. And the personal logos come straight after, like much later. Focus on building the name with your own name to begin with. If you have a logo, I'm not saying that it's not useful. It is. But it's not the first thing to consider at all. Usually your name alone as your professional name works wonders, because that's what you'll be known as. That's what people know you in the offices. That's what people will associate with you. Of course, if you have a Twitter account or a LinkedIn account and it's a different name to what you're known as, then it would make sense strategically to amplify that name.
Okay.
But to have a brand logo isn't important to building your profile to begin with.
Okay. Listeners, I hope that you've listened to us and you want to know more about this. But I've got the main lady, I call her, today, and she is throwing more light on that. So we'll go to the books that she's written that has got everything that she is saying or talking about in there. I mean, while she's talking, she'll be adding she adds few things out of the book to it, but you want to know everything, then I can tell you everything is in that book. Over to you, Linda.
Absolutely. Today, what we've been talking about, including the pitch, is in the Career Success book. And it talks about different types of pitches, how to present yourself, how to be memorable in people's minds when you create your brand. And that's in the Career Success book. There's 3 books: Career Success, there's How to Career, and there's the Career Workbook. Career Success is targeted at professionals, seasoned professionals, or people that have been in the career building process for at least 3 years, and this is how to get to the top. How to Career is for early careers, people that are less than 3 years in a particular career field, or changing careers completely and want to know where to start or how to get it right the second time and do something that aligns with you. That's How to Career. And then the Career Workbook is pretty much coaching on paper. It's for anyone that really wants to plan out their career progress, wants to elevate themselves, wants to develop themselves, find out their shortcomings, prepare for an interview, prepare for a pitch, do better. That's what the career workbook does. It's prompt, it guides you, it'll show you what you're doing well as what you're missing and what's missing in your career development journey. So those are the 3 books. It's called the Career Series, and you can find it on Amazon, you can find it on Book Depository, Gardener's Books, online anywhere. If you type in the career books with Linda Pallien as well, you'll come up with these books, and definitely get your hands on one of them. It's very affordable, it's value packed. Also, we're doing an official launch in Cyprus in person at the Radisson Blu in Cyprus on December 3rd, when we'll be celebrating the books and hearing from people from all around the world of how they've used the books and how it's helped them in different stages. So if you're in Cyprus and you want to attend, do let me know, and I will send you a ticket to that event as well.
Oh, wow.
But otherwise, you can you can follow the updates on the website lindapallien.com or on social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and what's the other one? Facebook.
Okay.
At Linda Pallien. So many of them.
Yes. Everywhere you look for Linda, you'll find her there. Just type in Linda Pallien, and then she will pop up. You will find her there. Right. Interestingly, the books, if you are listening to us, it's not only meant for those of you in the UK or those of you in Europe, or it's across the globe, or whatever planet that even you find yourself there. If you apply the content of that book, I tell you that you make impact. So don't give any excuse. Make sure you get your hands on that. But Linda, if people want to get in touch with you personally, how would they do that?
Fantastic. You can contact me personally at mychairlinda, or hello@lindapallien.com. hello@lindapallien.com. I'm always looking to hear from other people and anyone that's looking to better themselves in terms of career prospects. Also, the teachings of this is also meant for people that want to start a business or go into entrepreneurship, because the beauty of this and why this makes it such a valuable resource, I say so myself because I know, but also I've been told, is because I'm using entrepreneurial concepts into building your own enterprise, creating your own brand, establishing yourself. So we talk about marketing, we talk about promotion, we talk about establishing a brand, we talk about the values, the mission statement. It's all stuff that you would use to build a successful business, to create your own brand and command a higher price and create a premium brand for that matter, but that is yourself. So definitely, if you're thinking of starting your own business, doing your own side hustle, whether it's property, whether it's cryptos, whether it's jewelry, whatever business it is, these concepts will guide you as well as a person. So when you become a manager, you're able to manage people effectively too.
Wow, listeners, I hope that you take advantage of this opportunity. Get in touch with her, get your hands on the books and use them, and those concepts are all going to be working in your favor. What about that? Linda, let me say thank you very much for this wonderful time with you once again.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Have a lovely day. We'll catch up later then.
You too.
Well, listeners, this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, and this is where we are bringing the program to a close for today. God willing, tomorrow we'll be back exactly from 10 o'clock when we bring you everything that you need to know. But you know what? It's a bit sunny here in London, and those who love the summer, I think you're going to be enjoying a bit of it, a bit of sunshine today. But I know that the weather is going to be going down during the course of the week. Some of us like the cold weather. We don't like the hot weather and the heat that comes out with it. But well, we can't get what we want all the time, right? Okay. But before I bring the program to a close, this announcement: Faith Revival Assembly presents Worship Free to Worship, featuring Reverend Bruce Garte, aka Uncle Ato, and Minister Ken and Cheshire, and also ministering at the FRA Choir and also Glorious Temple Choir of the Resurrection and Living Bread International Ministries. Okay, the event is taking place on the 22nd of June from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. That is Saturday. That's coming Saturday. And then the 23rd of June, Sunday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Okay. Now, venue is Broadmead Primary School, 366 Sydenham Road in Croydon. The postcode is CR02EA. Broadmead Primary School, 366 Sydenham Road, Croydon. Postcode CR02EA. An event is being hosted by Reverend and Lady Reverend Annan. Okay, so this is where I bring the program to a close. As I said earlier on, have a wonderful afternoon and see you all tomorrow. It's been a pleasure, and I remain yours sincerely, the one and only Archie. Enjoy this song from Ajabia, and it says crazy times that we find ourselves in. Enjoy it. Bye bye for now.
You've done it again.
Now just get up and go. Tough situations down is looking like.
This is Starr Radio UK.
There's plenty time to go see. These are crazy times.
Thanks for listening.
The sun will surely come out. We will be alright. We will be alright. Showing how the odds have been against you, but you dare to keep on going. Every day is a blessing, life is for living. You've got this fast, stay strong, and you bring the fire. Yes, you inspire your wife.